springtime, the time that kings would go to war, David sent Joab with his army to go out and fight. But David himself stayed back home in Jerusalem. And one evening, as he got up from his rest, he went for a walk on the roof of his palace. And as he looked out over the city, he saw a beautiful woman having a bath, a ritual bath. And he sent someone to find out who she was. And he found out that she was Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah, the daughter of LBRY. And so he had her brought to the palace. And he spent time with her, he slept with her. And then she returned back to her home. And after she returned home, she realised that she was pregnant. So she sent a message to David and said, I'm about to have a baby that is your baby. And when David heard this, he sent a message to Joab and asked him to send Uriah home with a report of the battle. So Uriah came back to Jerusalem and he reported on how the battle was going. And after he'd done this, David said to him, just stay and relax a while, go home and, return to the army tomorrow. So Uriah stayed, but he didn't go home. He slept at the entrance of the palace with David's other servants. Well, the next day, when David heard this, he called Uriah and he said, why didn't you go home and relax? And Uriah said, how can I possibly go home and relax and spend time with my wife and eat and drink when the rest of the army are in a field, camping, sleeping in tents? Well, David said, stay another day, rest some more. And he invited him round for a meal and he got him drunk. But still, Uriah did not go home. He spent another night at the gates of the palace, sleeping where the servants of David slept. So David wrote a message to Joab and he gave it to Uriah to deliver. And the message said, put Uriah on the front line of the battle. And when the enemy comes out, withdraw so that Uriah gets killed. Well, Joab did exactly what David told him to do. He put Uriah on the front line of the battle. And when the enemy came out, Uriah and some other men were killed. And a messenger came to David with the news. And David told the messenger, tell Joab, don't worry, these things happen in a time of war. Or when Bathsheba heard that Uriah had died, she went into a time of mourning. And after that time was over, she was taken to the palace and she became David's wife. And in time, she gave birth to a son. But God had seen everything that had happened and he was very displeased with what David had done.